Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris, and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer. And on today's show, we're going to be guessing some niche games, aren't we, Chris?
Certainly are. Basically, there's been thousands of video games over the years. We don't know all of them. In fact, between us, we probably only know about 10.
It's true.
Which, what's the one you like?
Stardew Valley, yeah.
Detroit Become Human, The Warriors, Pokemon, that's pretty much
Halo,
it.
and
The
that's
Witcher.
Yeah.
Age of Empires, I already said The Witcher. So we're already doubling up.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We've already run out. So basically, we go back to some games from the history. Just based off the title, we try and figure out what that game was and what it was about.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. And Guy, you want to talk about grief or that's not really it though,
It's time
is
to
it?
give up on dreams.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
You're grieving.
To be fair, the topic spawns from grief.
Right.
So we'll go into that. Basically, it's pipe dreams, video game pipe dreams, things that you want to happen. It's time to let go. It's time to move on.
grieving.
It's not going to happen.
So we're giving up on the...
We're giving up
You're
on...
not holding on to hope anymore. You're done.
Giving up.
You're like Brooks in Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
Who just gives up.
Yep. I'm carving my name in the wood.
And then you're hanging yourself.
Oh,
That's a spoiler. Have you seen the Shawshank Redemption?
I have at school in English or something.
Yeah, I studied it in fourth form as well.
Yeah, so I didn't really fully pay attention.
What do you mean?
It's one of the best movies ever made.
Also, if you're studying it, doesn't mean that you're paying extra attention to it.
Yes, but I couldn't really tell you I know they leave a jail, escape, dig a hole or something. Did I just spoil it for everyone? I did think it was, a lovely, lovely movie. It's just gorgeous, but
Directed by Frank Darabont, the same man who directed The Green Mile.
Oh,
and
interesting.
The Walking Dead, I believe.
Yes.
The first season of that.
Yeah, no, I didn't love it, but I appreciate the movie for what it is. But I didn't love it. You know what I mean?
Why didn't you love it? Let's go into this.
I don't know. I just, you know what? As soon as you force me to do something, which is what happens at school, I immediately reject it. So I did enjoy it a little bit, but it was still being forced to watch this.
So that's why you don't play video games?
Pretty much,
Because we tell you to
You're
do
making it worse. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to stop telling her to do it, and maybe next week she'll come back and have completed Hogwarts Legacy.
It's the only thing we haven't tried.
Exactly. Yeah. You know that little thing called pathological demand avoidance? It's quite big in the ADHD and autism, and it's basically when someone gives you a demand, you don't want to do it more. Do you get this at all? If you're
I get it, but
unloading...
not with me, with my toddler.
Fair enough. You know what I mean? Like you're unloading the dishwasher or something for your mum when you're a kid. And then she goes, "Oh, Ellie, can you unload the dishwasher?" And then I immediately don't want to do it anymore because
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So many people are like that. I can't stand it when people do that because it's they're like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm already doing it. Whereas you're like,
I'm like, oh,
don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Because
Really?
I think for me, what it is, in a way, is my autonomy is being removed, but also my dopamine is being sought after from the reward of being hearing my mum go, "Oh, did you unload the dishwasher, Ellie? Oh, thank you."
Right.
But as soon as she tells me, that dopamine's gone.
So
Because it means that when you've unloaded the dishwasher, she'll be like, "Cool, I told you to do something, and I did, and you did it."
Exactly.
Right. So
yeah.
I think this is where we differ. I get the dopamine from seeing that the dishwasher's been cleaned out and the dirty dish has been put in and it's all tidy.
Oh, okay.
That's
no.
where I get mine from. So
Really?
you get yours from the approval of others.
Yes, that's my whole issue.
Right. Well, look, like and subscribe and leave a comment for Ali's sake. Please do.
Please do. All right, we'll jump into some listener feedback, First of all, I'm handling that today. First, just want to acknowledge, Chris, what a video you posted last week in the ECG for ECG Facebook group. Do you remember doing that? You scheduled it about 10 days ago.
Yeah, I also posted it twice.
Oh, did you?
Did you?
Real boomer move. Yeah, because I scheduled it and then it glitched out. I was like, I don't know if that works, so I better schedule it again. And then it posted twice. Did you guys watch it in its entirety without skipping forward?
Look,
No.
I did.
Straight away.
You know what? I played it all the way through, but was I focused the whole time?
Just admit
No.
that you didn't watch it. Like, of course, no one would have. If anyone did, honestly, let me know.
I was scared of you confronting me about it this week.
What
so
do
that's
you
why-
mean?
No, not scared of you, but I was just like, I'd be rude if I didn't watch the whole thing. So I just
it's only 4 minutes.
had it playing and then sort of, oh no, you know what I did? I put it on double speed.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's fine.
I watched a third, skip to the end.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah. Let us know what you actually did in the group. I want to know how many people actually watched it for 4 minutes. But what I will say, looks awful. Horrifying.
You'd
Would
hate it.
hate that game.
Yeah.
But well done to you because that
you.
was a lot. And there was some
Well
good
done.
feedback. You got 36 likes in the old group there, Chris. It's quite a highly engaged post.
Well, there's 37 people in that group, so I appreciate it.
Well done. Also, I just wanted to welcome John Fleetwood, who's just joined the group and the family and is listening to our episode. So thanks for being here. Paul Craze Jr. put something funny in the old group, and I feel like this is going to be quite relatable for parents. And I'm going to wonder how you're going to handle this guy when your daughter's a little bit older and your next baby. He said, I have a question discussion for other gaming parents. My almost 5-year-old has taken a keen interest in Minecraft, his favourite game, and is struggling with his timer. So he sets a timer for him and he gets to play until the timer goes off.
I had one of those, yep.
Yeah, nice. And then yesterday he asked, why do you get to play longer than me? And
Because-
Paul didn't have an answer for it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
How do you handle that? How are you going to handle that? If Daisy's playing and you're like, you only get an hour a day and you're doing 2 hours a day, what are you going to say to her?
I've had a really good think about this, and I'm going to take a page out of my parents' book, which was a page out of their book, and it's a page out of many book that many parents have read. And the simple answer is because I said so.
Oh, that sucks.
No, but like I think it's important to. So my dad, because my dad was like, you only get 3 hours a week is all you're allowed to play
Okay,
on
yeah.
Age of Empires when it first came out. Because I literally like ruined my schooling and my sporting and stuff by playing it. And I was like, why? And he's like, because it's ruining blah 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 blah. And he was like, once you have got your education and you've got a job and you're paying for it all yourself, and that's when you can make the decision to do it. And joke's on you, Dad. I'm now playing it more than 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
But I think
You're
you
only
need to
saying that
justify
because you
it.
know he doesn't listen. If he was
Oh,
listening,
no, shit, I wouldn't listen to this.
but if he was, you wouldn't be bragging.
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
So you're just going to be the old, because I said so.
I think you need to explain to kids why, though. I feel like
Not
you
at
should.
5.
Really?
Five. I mean, sure, you can. If there's some, the thing is, I'll put a time limit on gaming with my kids if it is genuinely affecting them in a negative way.
Yeah.
If they play for an hour every single day, but they're actually completely functioning, and I say, hey, time to log off now because we're doing this, and they're fine, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Okay,
berate
yeah.
An
them.
hour's fine. Totally. You're right. An
But
hour's,
yeah,
it's like
if-
watching TV for an hour.
Yeah,
it's fine.
if Daisy's playing Minecraft and I, say you got to turn it off and she sort of loses her shit,
Which is what kids will do.
I'll be like, well, because this right here, like it's, I'm taking something away from you temporarily, and this is the reaction that you give. When you can show me that, you can be a little bit more mature about it, then maybe then we can have a discussion.
So then the next time she goes, okay, and you go, hey, time to get off. And she's like, okay, Dad, I will get off. then that's that argument out the window. She's being very mature about
It's
it.
very good of you. And then,
And she's like, so next time I can stay on longer.
and I'll go, sure, why not? But then I'll cap it.
Okay.
And then when she says why, you say, because I said so.
Yeah, exactly.
So it always comes back to
Because I said
yeah.
so. Because sometimes you just don't need a reason. You
Nah.
just need to lay the law down.
You know what? Yeah, it's very easy for Chris and I to sit here with no kid and
Yeah.
give you parenting advice because we don't know
Well,
what
no,
it's
we're
like.
not giving parenting
Well,
advice. I'm
sort of.
saying how I would tackle. No, not with Guy in it. No, I'm saying how I would do it with my kids.
But
Your hypothetical kids that you don't have
that's
yet.
the thing. If
You
you
don't know I
had
don't have
kids,
kids.
you might be exhausted and you don't have the willpower to even tell them why. You just end up going, because I said so.
I work in radio. I won't be exhausted.
Okay,
I'll
all
be
right.
sweet.
Record this. Like,
I work
can
in
we record
afternoon
this?
radio, not breakfast radio. I'll be sweet.
Okay, I want to see when you have kids. I want to come back to that exact soundbite there and just see how we're going.
Oh, we won't be friends, buddy.
One last thing. Sean Vandermeer, he put a cute little anecdote in the group this week after we were chatting about New Zealand-based developers and games. He alluded to this fact that there was a game called The New Zealand Story back in 1988. I didn't know
Wow.
about this. It wasn't a New Zealand developer.
Here
but
we go. This will be interesting from 1988.
Yeah.
Not a New Zealand developer. Like,
Yeah. It was inspired by a holiday trip to New Zealand taken by one of the Taito programmers. In the game, you control a Kiwi named Tiki, who must save his girlfriend named Fifi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was ported to almost all home computers at the time. So obviously that was before I was born. But
I thought
very
the New
interesting.
Zealand. I thought it was tackling the story of New Zealand as a country. So like James Cook coming along and meeting the natives, and then like all that dicey
yeah.
shit that we have a treaty for and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
It's about a Kiwi though. That's
There
fine.
you go,
That's
little
fine.
cute Kiwi. Oh, and first, lastly, I just want to say Eric Felton just finished Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Have I said that right? Do we know that game there? Just wanted to congratulate him.
Sinuas, I've never heard of it. It looks
Yeah,
cool.
said what an incredible, absolutely incredible experience. Cannot recommend the game enough.
Oh, well, there you
you go. So that was listener feedback.
Maybe I'll watch a review on YouTube and something and have a gaze.
Yeah,
Maybe
nice.
if there's a 4-minute video of it, I'll watch some of it.
Yeah, and I'll skip through 2 times speed. Gaming news.
Gaming news. You want me to go first?
Fire it off.
So it was announced earlier today. To be honest, it's been in rumour since the beginning of the year. George R. Martin, who co-wrote, so he wrote Game of Thrones. He co-wrote a lot of the lore behind Elden Ring. They basically came to him and said, these are the people, this is blah, blah, blah. Can you write a deep lore for the land? And oh my God, did he what? It is ridiculous.
I didn't realise Oh, is it?
Yeah, so that's why it's so complex and so just layered, you know.
And that's why the latest Game of Thrones book isn't out. Because he was like, just about to start on it, got the email like,
bullshit. He's had ages.
I'll do this instead.
He's had ages. I feel like he's just distracted from that at the moment. But he mentioned it in like February on a TV show interview that there's a potential for a movie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we've sort of kind of know. And also nowadays, every company's buying up every right to every video game, right?
Yeah.
But it was announced today that they've teed up a director, Alex Garland. He directed Ex Machina and 28 Days Later and that whole series of films.
He did Warfare as well.
which came out this year, which apparently is a great film.
Yeah. And Civil War last year as well.
Civil War as well. And that's not what's the name?
And it's not Captain America Civil War. It's Civil War, the one that looked cool in the trailers, but it was actually kind of meh.
Right. So George R. R. Martin not involved because he's too busy writing the novel, apparently.
Yes.
I'm not excited about this at all.
No, I don't think.
It sucks.
No.
Elden Ring is 200 hours of the most confusing shit you have ever heard of. It's hard. It is just like what you're watching explainer videos on YouTube that are like an hour long, just explaining one portion of a massive story. You cannot put a little bow on that and put it up. This is my initial thoughts. I hope I'm proven wrong. I don't know. They're going to start production in 2026 or something. I don't know.
I feel like that would almost, because of how deep it is, it would need to be like a full-on TV series with
Make
like
a
multiple
series.
seasons.
It would
You're
need
gonna
to
do
be
anything,
it'd need to be like Game of Thrones, but if
Yeah.
they didn't rush the last 2 seasons, that's how it's more complex than that. It is ridiculous.
Yeah. So movie's just going to dilute it all. Is that what your worry is? Like it's just going to be really
100%.
basic and...
Or they'll have to pick like one person and follow through one small portion of that. And also the other whole point of Elden Ring is the person you make is like limitless possibilities. So they're just going to have to they did it with Minecraft. Obviously they just put a storyline into the Minecraft world. They might do that with Elden Ring, but personally my initial reaction is I don't like it.
Yeah.
They better kick ass because From Software has a reputation for everything they make being excellent.
Yeah.
And so I'll watch some reviews. If Pugs at work, who also loves FromSoft, if he watches it and comes and says, Chris, watch it, it's excellent, then I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
So that'll be happening in the next couple of years, I guess.
Nice.
Big story came out this week. Of course, Grand Theft Auto 6. We knew that it was coming last year. End of last year, we got a trailer. In that trailer, it said coming 2025, but we didn't know when. And then over the last few months, speculation that it's going to be delayed. When that delay is, we don't know. We do now. It is the 26th of May, 2026. So over a year away. So we're not getting it this year. We're getting it next year. Not even this time next year.
Yeah, wow.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, to be fair, not surprised. I mean, I think I wasn't expecting it to be a complete like 1 year sort of thing. I was expecting maybe like late this year, early next year. But yeah, May next year is quite long. So, but to sort of, obviously a lot of people are pretty bummed about it and are pretty annoyed. So I think what they've done to make good is that they've dropped the second trailer that came out today.
Yes.
So you've probably watched it by the time that you're listening to this. That trailer shows cinematics from within the storyline. We actually get to know a little bit more about the people, not just the two people. I think it's Jason and Lucia, but also side characters as well that you get to interact with. So it does add a little bit more depth into what we're going to be playing and seeing how amazing the graphics look.
It was more of a story trailer, whereas the first one was more of a setting and like introducing you to where it's going to be based and stuff. Yeah.
And then as well, articles online, it's telling you more about the map. It's not showing us the map. As we know, it's set in Vice City, based from the Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which came out in the early 2000s. In that game, you kind of just stuck to the city, whereas in this game, you can go to the outskirts, into like the swamps, into the hills.
Massive. It's like Florida, essentially.
Yes,
isn't it?
it's basically Florida. So you
Miami.
in Grand Theft Auto 5, you could be in the city, but then you could go into the outskirts. It's going to be like that, but bigger. So no, we're not getting Grand Theft Auto 6 this year. We're going to get May 26th, 2026.
Honestly, I don't care. Like, there are so many good games out there that when Grand Theft Auto comes in, it's going to take over. Everyone's going to be playing it. And I'm like, man, I've still got like this list of really long games. Like, it's taken me a million years to beat Elden Ring again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sweet as, less pressure off me, to finish these other games.
Yeah, and I guess it's been so long anyway that what's another year? What's another year waiting? We've already waited this long.
As long as when it drops, it is not bug-free completely, but like a good, solid, quality drop. It's been tested, and it's not one of those ones that instantly is like bugging out on everyone or can't be run properly. And as long as it's released in a really stable condition, then take all the time you need.
I just don't know how you can go from, hey, let's drop the trailer end of 2024 and tell everyone it's coming out next year, to then go to not even halfway through the year that you're supposed to be dropping it and saying, hey, we need another year. Like, How does that happen?
I know. Like, are you?
How are you so confident at the end of one year that it's coming out soon, and then months later go, actually, guys, we
I know.
jumped the shark there.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know completely how it works, but I know that like you have frames of activity working on a video game, and the final frame is the testing stage.
Yeah.
And usually that's when they get the marketing going and they blah, 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 while they're testing and testing. So the game is probably 99% made, but through the testing stage, they've probably realized all this stuff because it's so big. And the bigger a game is, the more complex, the more stuff that can shit out, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe they thought they were going to get to a point where they'd have everything ironed out and it's just not.
Yeah.
But a year seems like a long ass time.
It does,
Yeah.
eh?
But once again, as long as it comes out and it kicks ass,
It will come out pretty slick, but we talked about in previous episodes about how the gaming community and all these other developers are trying to figure out when it's coming out so they can release their game, because nobody wants to release a game at the same time as GTA. I wonder how many games were pegged to come out in May next year, and they're like, shit.
they shifted it
They were
to
like-
avoid it.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry, guys. Like, it's coming out this year. The dust will settle. We'll drop our game in like May, April next year. Now it's kind of buggered it.
Yeah.
I have a tiny bit of gaming news. It was actually posted in the group by someone. But did you see that there's this new game coming called Desktop Survivors 98?
I
Did
saw
you see that?
I saw the link in the chat, but I never actually looked at it.
Yeah, I had a little look at it. It's a new game coming out later this month, and it's basically a rogue light dungeon crawler that happens to take place in the confines of an operating system that'll feel very familiar to those of us who grew up in the 90s. So
Oh,
it's
Windows
literally-
98.
Yeah, it's literally like in the desktop, so it's like 2D and like kind of
So you like you're looking at a screen.
yeah. And then you interact with a little paperclip thing, and you've got to
Clippy.
like, yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it actually looks really fun. I feel like everyone that listens to this potty, we're all kind of millennials, I think. So I feel like this game would
That's
be
cool.
right up
A
our
large
alleys.
portion of us are, yeah.
Yeah.
So because I spent a lot of time looking at that operating software back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it is a cool idea. So I just want to acknowledge that. It's coming out later this month.
Another piece of news that we'll just touch on, they've announced Gears of War Reloaded. Is it Reloaded or Remastered or
I think
something?
it's called, Remaster or Reloaded. Or...
I tried to find more information on it, did a half-assed job if I'm honest, but I'm pretty sure there's no trailer or anything out yet. It's just been announced that it's happening. I believe it's the 3 original games.
yeah.
Fully remastered 4K, blah, blah, blah. I actually knew that this was happening because I know a guy who was cast to play one of the characters from Gears of War 2.
No way.
And I was like, well, the only reason that he'd be playing that character, who I think dies in Gears of War 2, one of the many characters that die in that game,
Yeah.
is if they were recreating it. Because they wouldn't, do a spin-off or anything.
Is it tight?
No, I'm not saying.
Oh, yes. We should beep that.
No, it's fine. No, it's not tight. No, he's a minor character anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I knew it was coming. I didn't realize it was the full trilogy. Gears of War 1 and 2, two of the best, I think, Guy, you'd say as well, some of the best gaming experiences of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Couch co-op, great games. Gears of War 3 is fine.
But you failed to mention the biggest thing is that it's coming out on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, and they've just gone,
Yeah.
hey, it's coming out on PlayStation. Full sign that Xbox is out of the console race and
Yeah.
they are just making games for everyone.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart at this point for them. Yeah, so that's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Did you have any personal anecdotes, any of you? this
Guys,
week?
the carpet's in. I've got new
Oh,
carpet
yeah, how's
in
your
my house.
carpet?
The house feels brand new.
Does it?
It's so sick. Get new carpets, everyone. Just
Really?
do it. It's such a niggle moving from all your stuff because we did it over 2 days. So moving stuff, and I did it all on my own. But no, getting new carpets is just phenomenal.
Does it feel like the house is different because
Yeah.
of the colour and everything? I guess it's different. Yeah.
So I had to do a whole bunch of painting and sanding of all these walls prior to the carpet going in. So that was
Gotcha.
cool. And the new carpet, and it's got the new carpet smell.
Oh, yeah,
And
nice.
like playing on the floor with my daughter, even though it's not like as if we lived in, like it was just old carpet that was trodden in. But like now when I'm on the floor with my kid playing with toys, I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Like enjoy this, Daisy. Enjoy it. And then, so that's probably the only thing going on.
Are you
Sick.
guys getting ready to sell or something?
We are getting ready to sell. We're doing stuff. We're doing a bunch of stuff. That was probably the biggest thing that we needed to do pre-baby because we want to be able to get to a point where when the second baby comes around, we're not going to be doing much stuff on the house. So now is the best time to do it.
Yeah.
We've got one kid that goes to kindy. I'm not at work. So this is the most amount of time we've got. So that's why I've been doing a bunch of shit on the house because when second baby comes around, it's going to be nuts. So yeah, second baby will come. We'll get through that 6 months and then we'll probably chuck the house on the market because the house is pretty small for 3 of us. Adding in an extra mouth is going to make it. So yeah, I don't know when we'll put the house on the market, but
Just whenever's the right time.
yeah,
exactly.
It feels
Are you going
right.
to be real anal about getting stuff on the carpet now?
yes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
What about
Yeah.
because your dog? Does your what it like comes in with dirty paws and stuff?
Nah, Nala's good. She doesn't really go into the garden anyway.
Right, okay.
But I have got a bunch of offcuts from the carpet, and I'm going to get those turned into some mats.
Yeah. Go to Carpet and Matland
Is that where you
out
go?
west.
Is it actually a place?
I
Like,
bought the one. There's one in my lounge, a giant one. The lady
Yeah.
gave it to us. She's $250, and everywhere else we're looking at over $1,000.
really?
Really? Honestly, Carpet and Matland, look it up.
Carpet and Matland.
Carpet and Matland.
Free plug right there for
Wow.
a real
Carpet and
small
Matland.
business in West Auckland.
Nice.
Lovely lady,
Nice.
go check it out.
Cool.
Nice. I had my first run-in the other day with another dog owner, and it was. I can't imagine how you must have felt that day that those days. Sorry, that Nala got attacked. This wasn't even a big deal, but it was more about the vibe from the owners that
Yeah.
really irked me. It's really minor. Ruby, my dog's on a leash. You know, being a good girl. We're just very close to our house.
And she's tiny.
Tiny.
Like
and
a
there's,
cat.
Yeah, she is. And there's this walkway that there's some stairs that come up, and we were about to walk past it, and I could hear people. I knew there were people coming, so I was kind of, on alert. And then I could tell they had a dog, because I could hear them saying, blah, blah. And then as we walked past, I looked down, and this dog is unleashed. And this dog, just like, it's small as well, but not as small as Ruby, because Ruby's tiny. Kind of like, medium size. Just starts charging at Ruby. Obviously, in that moment, they know that the dog's probably just going to come play. I don't know that. Ruby doesn't know that. So I'm like holding Ruby, and then she's going, because she's actually quite like intense when she gets scared. Fair enough. And then the dog didn't attack or anything. Like, in hindsight, it's always very nice in hindsight. Obviously, just was getting excited. And then I was just like, it's all right, Ruby, it's all right, it's all right. And then the owners literally... The woman goes, let's say the dog was called Spot. She just walks past and goes, Spot, come here. And then the guy just looks at me and goes, it's all good. Like, with this real passag, like, look on his face. And I'm like, and I just did not, I couldn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. I was so angry that I just froze. But they just acted like everything was fine. I had no, regard for the fact that my dog is now terrified. I'm also terrified. And it was sort of like, oh, get over it. Like, it's just a dog.
Like,
Just wanted to rant. Because I'm now a dog owner, guys. Did I tell you?
no, it's completely valid.
But yeah, I can't imagine how you felt.
End of the day, your dog's on a lead. Theirs wasn't.
That's
It
the
made you
thing.
uncomfortable. You could do whatever you want. You could.
I'm so wound up.
The crucial point of information there is that you don't know their dog and you don't know what their dog does. They know that the dog's chill, so they're like, yeah, it's fine. He just comes over to say hello.
That's
But
the thing.
they also don't know what it's like owning a dog that's had all these issues and anxieties and stuff. And you
Exactly.
too, as a new dog owner.
Exactly.
They've not been in your shoes and know the situation from your point of view. And,
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
Thank you. It was such an
Yeah.
injustice, and I just wanted to share that. It's not even a big event, but it was the first time I went, oh, that's
Thing
so
is,
annoying.
you could then unload all of this information to them about how, anxiety,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And they could go, then why are you walking your dog then?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, don't bring your dog out. It's going to run into other dogs. Because
Yeah.
that could also be that could be their counter. And so that's not,
guess-
that's not
Exactly.
realistic. Dogs need to go for walks.
The
Yeah.
only thing you can control, though, is that that's probably going to happen again.
Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
is. It is. You're right. And so it was a good introduction to that. And I need to find a line that I can say, because I literally froze. I didn't know what to say to them, but I was so angry because it's just an injustice to us. It's a lack of empathy. I can't stand lack of empathy in any region of life. So yeah, I am now an angry dog owner that's going to bloody talk to the council about this.
Oh,
you can
God.
get dog spray, and it's like pepper spray but for dogs.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't harm the dog. It makes it's got a smell to them that makes their nose get all like. Ugh.
Oh,
So you
imagine
could
if
be
I
that
pulled that
hard,
out.
you could be that hard out lady that sprays other people's dogs.
You've had one run-in with another dog. I don't think it's time to get the dog spray yet.
No, I'm going to the shop after this, all right?
I've got a can at home. You can borrow
Do
it.
you mean? Cool.
Yeah, Meg, after the second time Nala got attacked, she's like, "You do not leave the house with that can."
Oh, no, I fully get your
Yeah,
justification.
no, that's crazy. Like, I can't imagine your grief based on that small, tiny interaction when nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Mine
what
wasn't
you went
grief.
through.
I went absolutely apeshit both times.
Fair enough. Absolutely fair
If anyone
enough.
doesn't know, by the way, Guy's dog got attacked twice
Sorry,
in
I
front of him. Go back and listen to all the episodes because they are timeless classics.
They sure
Especially
are.
those ones.
Yeah, and you learn a lot about the lore of ECG. No anecdote from me, guys.
That's okay. That's all right.
I went to Magic Round in Brisbane.
yeah.
Huge rugby league weekend, different audience to this podcast. I am now a shell of a man. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
And we think you're getting sick.
I saw it. Well,
I do think I'm getting sick. My co-host on the radio is sick, and he's taken the yesterday and today off. And of course, you can't take the day off and leave just one person there.
No.
Yeah.
You got to show up.
there was a video of you online getting humped by a dog.
I did see that.
I got shagged by a dog.
Yeah.
Very intimate.
I tell you what. Where's the dog spray for that?
Exactly.
I wanted to tell that dog's owner about my anxieties and my dog.
The dog spray was probably on your leg.
You're right, I bought the wrong spray, and I put instead of repellent, I put attracting
No,
dog attractant.
I was meaning the dog sprayed on you with jizz.
Oh, it was a female.
Ah.
That was always weird.
Oh.
It was a female dog.
Oh.
How weird's that?
Smell the meat patties under the old ass. I saw that.
Only about 100 people commenting
I saw
that.
that. Yeah, I stole that joke, to be fair.
Very funny joke.
It's a good joke.
And also, this is a different audience. I think I've said this before, but they are fake. Okay, the EC as far if you're an
Yeah.
ECG listener,
Yeah.
you know that they're fake.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're any of this other shit, everyone is convinced they're real.
They're like, oh yeah, whatever, Keezy.
Yeah, sure they are, buddy.
Sure just you're saying that because everyone's seen them now.
Well, to be fair, if anyone doesn't know, had giant fake nipples on TV, and now everyone in New Zealand thinks I've got giant man nipples.
So funny.
But this lady that used to work with my wife bumped into her again and was just, oh, hey, how you going? She's like, your husband? And then she's like, yeah. And she's like, his? And she's like, oh my God, his nipples? And she's just like, yeah. My husband paused the TV and like was like, come over here and look at this. And then they like literally were trying to figure out if they were real or not. And then she was like, well, they must be real. They look really real. And then she's like, Matt, do you reckon his wife's like into that? And she's like, well, I know his wife. And they were thinking we had this weird like nipple relationship
Yeah, it's
going
Oh my
on.
God.
So, oh my God, you'd have to have like vice-like grips at high school to give you a nipple cripple.
Like, exactly,
No
yeah.
one would have been able to do it.
What do you think caused them, man? Years of nipple cripples, and they are giant. Yeah, but
There you go.
a dog smelt my nipples and then humped me
And there's the title of the episode.
in Brisbane. No. Yeah, to be fair. All right, so do you want to do my segment next?
Yeah, let's
do it.
go.
Okay, so this is nice and easy. Basically, you pick 3 game titles from the past, and based on the title, we have to guess what the game was about.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll go first. The game came out in 1992, and it is called Lure of the Temptress.
Ooh.
Lure of the Temptress.
Sexual.
Yeah,
Lure of
so
the Temptress.
what are you thinking? We'll go for storyline.
Okay.
I reckon it is a Tomb Raider style game, Uncharted style game, where you're going. The Temptress was someone from back in the day,
You're trying to find
and you're trying to find something that
treasures
she had.
or something.
Treasures
Yeah.
or something.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That sounds good. I like that one.
Ellie.
Come on
That's
now.
exactly what I was thinking. It's
Ellie.
crazy. Nah.
Do you not like on the spot stuff?
No,
And
I
now
can
that
do
I've
it.
asked you to do it, you've lost your autonomy and your dopamine's gone.
Exactly.
Right. I've intentionally picked one that sounded filthy, by the way.
Sexual. Yeah, I
So
thought it
because
was
I
gonna be-
thought that's where you'd go.
Well, yeah, I did definitely go there. I thought it was going to be not necessarily like a sex game, but yeah, bit of a horny one.
Or it could be lures are used in fishing, so it could be a fishing game.
Oh,
A temptress.
Yeah.
She's fishing.
Yeah.
She's a real hot temptress who's fishing.
Yeah.
It is a medieval point-and-click adventure where you escape prison and unravel a dark plot involving an evil sorceress and her monstrous army.
Oh.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
the Temptress.
Yeah,
Right.
she's
Yeah,
obviously the temptress.
Gotcha.
Next one here. Do you want me to do mine 3 and then we'll go around?
okay.
again? Okay, the next one came out in 2003. It's called Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a game?
All right, so I'm guessing the Ghoulies are a type of alien, or they're a weird family. So you've
Was
been.
it a TV show? No.
Do you think of like the Addams Family sort of thing?
I don't know.
I reckon it's an alien game, like a fun little alien game where you've been what's it called? Abducted by
Yeah.
aliens.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah,
they're
grabbed by the
called
ghoulies.
ghoulies.
Yeah.
It also sounds like someone's got you by the nads.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it does. I reckon it is a horror game where you are possessed by ghosts,
Okay.
as in like
Like
ghouls.
ghoul.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
So it is a quirky cartoon style beat 'em up where a boy battles haunted house monsters to rescue his kidnapped girlfriend using household items and supernatural power ups. So she was kidnapped by ghouls.
Ah, yes, it was ghouls.
yeah.
Ah,
There you
yay.
go. But once again, it just sounded filthy.
It did.
Last one, 1995, Torrens Passage.
Oh, you really did have to pick one, didn't you?
Torrens Passage is a
Good luck. There's nothing to offer here, but good luck.
Yeah.
snowboarding game.
Right?
Yep.
I
You,
think.
you carve and powder down Torrens Passage.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like that's the name of a drop or like a, what's it
Yeah.
called? Like
Like a run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I reckon you're in a cave system somewhere
Yeah.
and you've got to escape the passage.
Yeah. A humorous, family-friendly adventure game where young Torrin journeys through strange worlds to save his parents and uncover his mysterious heritage.
All right.
I just thought it was funny. It sounded like his back passage.
It really did, yeah.
So you were pretty close on the second one, Ellie. Other than
Okay.
that, pretty much miles away.
Grabbed
Yeah.
by the Ghoulies seems like there was a bunch of dudes that thought, they got the name,
Yeah, and
and
then-
then they developed a game around it. Like, you do a game called Grab by the Ghoulies.
Well,
And
it
then,
sounds like someone's like sexually assaulted you.
Yeah, it
and
does.
It's a game for kids. Like,
Yeah.
I looked into it. It's like a game for kids. It's like a silly game.
Oh, so it's one of those ones that like the parents know it's like
it's
funny.
it's
and-
one of those ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Kids won't understand it, but the
Nah.
parents will be like, "What's that game called?"
Ooh. All right, here's mine. My three here. So the first one was in 2003. It's called Gregory Horror Show. What do you reckon that's about?
Gregory, my first straight away, my brain went like it's a multi. It's got a whole lot of mini games. And the horror, it's like horror show
like
based.
Jackbox.
Yeah, like Jackbox or Pokemon Stadium Mario Party, that sort of game.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's all horror based.
What's it called? Gregory's Horror
Gregory
Show.
Horror Show. It's just Gregory, like
I reckon
yeah.
it's kind of like a Courage the Cowardly Dog style
and
game.
Gregory Horror Show is the main character, maybe?
Yeah, it's Gregory,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like it's all this mental stuff that keeps happening, and Gregory's like, "What's going on?"
Oh, he's having a bad day.
He's just having and the horror show is his day, you know.
Nice. Well, not quite, but it's a Japanese CGI anime series, and it's about a mysterious hotel named Gregory House, where lost souls often end up, run by an old mouse named Gregory.
An old mouse.
Yeah.
Runs an entire hotel.
Yeah.
What like Ratatouille? Wait, that's not the storyline of Ratatouille. But, yeah, far out.
Yeah, so that's that one.
Wouldn't have got that.
No way.
Next one, Mr. Mosquito in 2001.
Mr. Mosquito is, I think you play a guy who's somehow been fused with a mosquito, and it's like an adventure game. And like he's got wings and he's got like he can bite and he's got an
Okay,
attack.
so
He's got to figure out how to undo the mosquito.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I reckon you play as a mosquito
Oh, yeah.
and
Spread malaria.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So you spread dengue fever and all those bad things.
Yeah, I don't know what the storyline is, but I reckon you are a mosquito.
You
not-
play as a mosquito.
You play as a mosquito.
Yeah, okay, so you, in Mr. Mosquito, you play a mosquito in the Yamada family house, and you must suck the blood of the three family members without them, I think, working out that you've done it. I think that's what it was.
Right.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
those mosquitoes.
Yeah. Little shit.
That's a weird game. Why
Yeah,
would you
that's
play
a
that?
Buzzy one, eh?
Buzzy, nice.
know.
Literally.
It's a good
That
pun.
is, no, I didn't realise. Okay, third one, LSD, Dream Emulator, 1998.
Oh, that's just a real weird, messed up thing where you play like a thing flying through space, and it's designed basically if you're taking acid or something.
Have you actually seen this?
No, I don't know if I've seen it, but it's ringing a distant bell.
Ah, nice.
And you take acid or whatever, and then you play this game, and it just trips you out.
Ah, well, yeah, basically, do you have any
I was going to
guesses?
say, I reckon if based on the time, it would be like some sort of like spaceship racing game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good shout. There's a lot of that shit back there.
Yeah.
Nice. This one is actually a Japanese PS1 game made from the creator's dream journal. No objectives, just dreamlike exploration. So it's just you
Literally,
just,
yeah. It's
you
trippy.
just
It's
explore.
designed to be trippy, I guess.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
All right. I was wondering with this. So we get 9 games in total. I wondered if there was ever going to be any double ups.
crossover?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we have double ups all the time when we talk about stuff. But I thought surely if
Yeah,
we
I
were
thought it
picking
was.
random games, the only chance is maybe you, because I was like, do I go down a dirty route? But I did not. First game, 2003. It's called Beautiful Joe. So
Beautiful?
Beautiful, like beautiful, but with a V. Beautiful Joe.
So beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Joe.
Yeah, beautiful Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
Is it Joe is a hot man?
But what does
Who-
beautiful mean?
Yeah.
Dunno.
Sexy, beautiful view?
I think it is you're running a coffee shop at the top of a skyscraper, and you've got a beautiful view. It's beautiful, and you're serving up hot cup of Joes.
That's good.
And customers are coming in, the complex orders.
That's good.
Guys, business idea. That's
That is
freaking
good.
genius.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful Joe.
What, for a coffee shop?
For
and
a coffee
skyscraper?
shop in the Sky House? Beat that out. We need to do that.
Look, man, you take that one.
Beautiful
I'm gonna,
Joe.
I'm going to let you have that
Come
one.
on! No, it's not that. Joe is your normal everyday guy watching movies and hanging out with his girlfriend Sylvia, but when Sylvia is sucked into a movie reel by an evil force, Joe's life is turned upside down. It's up to you to take everyman Joe and turn him into a superhero, to end all superheroes and save his girl.
Oh, wow. So
Wow.
she's
It's
been
like
sucked into the
Sucked
TV.
into a TV, and it's like a 2D side-scroller game with a little bit of 3D as the person. So yeah, it's just a side-scroller fighting
And
game.
it must change like where you are based on what movies she's in now and stuff.
I think so.
Like a Western. And yeah, it's quite cool.
All right, this one's from
Stupid
2000.
name.
Stupid name. Unless it's a coffee shop in a skyscraper.
Yeah.
2004, it's called The Suffering.
Oh, God.
It's the horror game.
Was it like a real early alternate release for like Elden Ring? The Suffering. You play. Okay, there's a plague All right, humanity's infected by a plague. It's not zombies, but it is a similar thing. Everyone's dying and suffering, and you play like a guy, like a Resident Evil cop style guy who's trying to figure it out and solve the mystery.
Okay.
It's like a survival horror game.
No.
What about you, Ellie?
Yeah, I just thought it was horror, and that's what's the name again?
The Suffering.
The Suffering. That's right. I think it's a horror game, and you're stuck in a house, and the whole premise is that you're suffering, and then you have to not suffer. That's such a shit idea. Sorry.
You're so gutted with yourself.
Yeah, I
You
hated
didn't even let
that.
it breathe. As soon as you said it, you're like, that's shit.
Hate that.
That's so funny.
The Suffering from 2004 follow three friends as one of them tries to explain the story behind Death Stranding.
Oh.
No, it's not that. It's not
Oh my god, literally.
I was just like, that sounds like us.
No, you play the role of Torque, a death row inmate with an ambiguous past who was imprisoned for slaying his ex-wife and child. Shortly after being interred and put into a new prison, an earthquake appears to release demonic creatures based on the many modes of execution used in the history of the island. These creatures proceed to eliminate much of the prison population, leaving only you and a scant few other inmates and guards to eliminate the horde and find out what has happened.
Wow.
So you're on
Right,
you're on death row at a
Like
prison.
Azkaban, not Azkaban,
Alcatraz,
Alcatraz.
and then an earthquake happens that releases demons from the underworld, and those demons take on the form of different types of execution styles that have been at the prison. So,
That's grim.
gun squad and electrocution.
Yeah, right, okay.
I remember because when I was doing the research for this, I saw the cover of the game, and I remember seeing that cover at a United Video, and I remember being like, that game looks spooky.
Scary.
There's
Yeah,
like
it's full on.
there's like some real crazy monsters on the front. I was like, I don't want to play that.
And that was The Suffering.
That was The Suffering.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Deep Water from 2004.
Deep Water, okay, it's like Bioshock. Do you know Bioshock?
I know Bioshock.
So
of
it's
it.
like an underwater metropolis thing, and you're down there, and humans are living underwater, and it all goes wrong, and you've got to figure out what happened. All of my games end with you've got to figure out what happened.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot of games.
That's what
Yeah.
games are, yeah.
So imagine a game where it's like, and everything's explained for you at the front, and you
know
don't
what
have to
happened.
don't do anything.
Here's what happened. Now
Everything's
play
sorted.
the game.
I think it's back when we didn't know what was under, we didn't have as much technology back then about what was deep below the sea. So I reckon this was a game that was imagining what the deep sea was really
Like
like.
exploration of the deep
Yeah,
sea.
And to
Exactly.
be fair, to this day, scientists still don't know what's down deep.
No.
That's
So,
very true.
yeah.
Very true.
Deep Water is a single-player action shooter game set in a post-apocalyptic world where the atmosphere has changed after an unspecified disaster. You now take on the role of a young man who hunts sea monsters for a living.
Ah, okay.
Right, so the sea monsters are... The atmosphere has changed. Are we all underwater now?
No, I think the atmosphere has kind of messed up the sea creatures and
So
turned them
they're
into
now
monsters.
attacking and shit.
Yeah.
Coming out of the sea.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
6 months ago, the captain that you play has sighted a special monster, and he's now obsessed with hunting it down.
Oh, so you got to find it.
So it's monsters.
You got to figure out what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I want to keep.
Yeah, that was fun.
I want to bring that back because there are so many games that are to choose from,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
and incredibly long shot. Has anybody played those games?
Yeah, I want to.
Those
yeah,
9
that's a good
games that we
question.
just mentioned. Has anybody played a single one of them?
I've played The Witcher and Age of Empires
Yeah.
and Elden Ring.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah.
So
we could
no.
do those ones next week.
I probably still wouldn't guess them based on like the bio. I wouldn't know.
you
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
No.
But if you've got any suggestions or if you've played those games or you want to get involved, then head to the Extremely Casual group for Extremely Casual Gamers.
Yes, and that is
On
actually
Facebook.
where I chucked the question for this week. You were mentioning it before. Gears of War Reloaded is what it's called.
Reloaded. is what it's
Reloaded,
called, yep.
not the remaster. Or, yeah,
Okay.
Reloaded. Pipe Dreams. So this is based off the fact that we all were hoping for a release of Grand Theft Auto 6 this year. We're just going to have to give up on that dream. It's happening next year, right? And those aren't the only pipe dreams that we need to let go of. I've mentioned a few times on this podcast how I love the game from Rockstar, The Warriors,
You have.
and how I desperately want that game to be remastered
Mm-hmm.
because I think it would be phenomenal. I need to let that go.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it?
It's not going to happen. Rockstar games have got too many things on.
Mm.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption, if they do a third one, I imagine that's going to be their next big project. They've got their hands full already with Grand Theft Auto 6.
Mm.
Plus, when that comes out, they'll be doing Grand Theft Auto 6 online. Rockstar's going to be too busy to remaster
Plus, The Warriors was quite a niche offering from them.
a game. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
Well, lack of loss.
I've talked about it for a long time, and I mentioned this in the group chat. I said, "What are your pipe dreams?" A few people agreeing, wishing that they would have a pipe dream. That there was a remaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
No.
It's done. I'm letting go of that dream.
Okay.
David Duncan, a Pokemon game with real graphics.
That's my one.
They are one of the
is
richest
it?
companies on the planet, and we're still dealing with trash. It
Absolute
sucks.
garbage. Like an open world, proper mean graphics, and not turn-based fighting. Like you control the Pokemon and you make them. Yeah, that's what
why
I've
do you
always
think they
wanted.
haven't done that?
Because they haven't needed to, and they've still managed to be
True.
one of the most successful entertainment companies.
And I imagine also if you up the graphics, if you up the realism, you've got to run it on something. Because, I mean, obviously the Switch 2 is going to be pretty powerful, but...
Even like a Tears of the Kingdom style Zelda, just more.
Yeah, more.
You know, it's such a basic offering every single time they release it. Just
Yeah.
something substantial.
Zach, subconscious gaming. He's letting go of this. Like pop on a helmet and suddenly you're in another world. Full immersion, as if you were really there with all your senses. So like Ready Player One. You know, you put on a headset and you're in the Odyssey or
Like
whatever
what
it's
Sam
called.
does, Ali's partner.
Yeah,
The headset.
but
But
you
like
know,
4D, so it's like got
you know,
all
like
the
so you'll wear
senses.
like a suit that makes you feel what is happening to you and stuff.
I reckon that'll probably happen.
It probably will, but not in Zach Fairman's lifetime.
Well, how
Yeah,
old is
right.
he?
I don't know, but he's around our age.
No, it could happen.
You reckon?
Yeah, AI could probably invent that.
How
AI will
true.
just start inventing everything.
How
Yeah.
rad will it be if you could have those suits and you could wander around and we're going to be like in our 60s and we'll just be, you know, just not living in the real world.
No.
You know?
No. People will start using that for dirty stuff, though.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
old Sam over there. A couple of people mentioning the Warriors. The Rangi says NBA and NFL Street remasters.
Oh, those were so random, those
Those
games.
were so cool, though.
Yeah, it was very, like, cartoony, graffiti style
Yeah.
NBA, right?
For a little white boy, made me feel cool playing that game. You
Hell
know?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
and admitting that now,
Yeah,
just
even
as
cooler.
cool. Yeah.
Because, you know, they've got obviously NBA 2K, which comes out all the time.
Yeah, which is focusing on
and-
realism and
and realism and stuff, and NFL Madden. But, you know, having a street remaster, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Cameron says, being as good at first-person shooters as I was when I was 16 and could spend all my spare time gaming instead of the myriad of chores and errands that come with being an adult with responsibilities.
Yeah, I think we all feel that one.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Also, man, like, kids are just sharper. They're so quick and,
Yeah.
like, they're
Yeah.
just better at that shit.
Smart Game Arena. When we did it last year, Ellie.
Oh,
there was the
yeah.
Fortnite tournament. There wasn't a kid over the age of I think it was like 15 was the max age of
That's
the top
right.
100.
Wild. That was so good.
Yeah.
And so quick.
And the guy who won it was like 13 and he won like 35 grand and could not have been more nonchalant about it.
He did not care.
It was like, because you interviewed him.
Oh,
you
it
were
was
like-
a hard interview.
It was a hard interview because it wasn't even like, it was just arrogance. It was just, yeah, well, I knew I was going to win. So
Yeah, I was
here I
like,
am.
I literally just like didn't know what to say.
Andrew Candy says a decent Game of Thrones RPG.
Oh, yeah.
So he's letting go of that.
No, I think that one of those is on the horizon. I think they're making a Game of
Don't
Thrones.
let go, Andrew.
I think they're making a Game of Thrones game.
Oh, okay.
I'd like in the next couple of years. I don't know how good it will be. Like a proper RPG, like what he's picturing.
Yeah.
Like a Skyrim-y, Witchery type thing.
I feel like they just recently released or told us that this is coming out soon, like a mobile game of Game of Thrones, which everyone's like,
Unfortunately
Yeah.
for Game of Thrones, which was the best show in the world, it ended shit, and now everyone has pretty much deleted it from their brains.
Totally.
I'd
Yeah.
totally be open to rewatching the first 5 seasons or whatever it is, or 6 seasons. But that's kind of like a 10-year-old craze now.
I started watching the first season last year because I was like, oh my God, I love the show. But then halfway through like the first episode, I was like, no, I know how this ends. Why am I committing so much time to something that I know I'm not going to enjoy at the end? Mike White says Half-Life 3. I've never played the Half-Life games, but they've got a huge following. He says, I got a tattoo of the logo without the circle, but said I'd get the rest of the Half-Life 3, to get the rest when Half-Life 3 comes out.
No, don't give up on that. There's rumors and all sorts of stuff coming out about Half-Life 3.
He says, I don't believe the rumors.
Oh.
Mike's letting go.
Well,
you don't have
Don't
to.
let go on that.
Stay with us, Mike. No, seriously, stay with us.
Don't give up. This is the difference. My brain is like, no, hold out hope, stay positive.
Nice.
That's how and like Half-Life 3 is definitely something that like Gabe and the people that made it that now own Steam.
Yeah.
They created Steam, Valve. So the reason it was so popular was like a revolutionary first-person shooter game. Like it just added all these things that weren't in games prior. It's like, and now a lot of games have those things.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was massive. They're all still in the same company. Gabe still is the guy that runs the whole thing is still making decisions based around like prioritizing the customer's experience and stuff.
Yeah.
I reckon there will be a Half-Life 3
Well,
based on hardly any information. But like from what I'm hearing and like keeping track of stuff going on in the gaming world.
Well, Mike, I don't know if what Chris
Don't
has
give
just
up.
said is going to make you hold on to that dream or if it's going to...
I'm going to do a segment next week about how we shouldn't give up on any of these, but yeah.
Jury says Grand Theft Auto having every single building explorable.
Oh, that'll never happen.
That'll never happen.
Unless, once again, AI just creates a whole lot of generic buildings that you can go into and it's full of nothingness. Like
Yeah.
AI generate, because they already do randomly generated stuff. Like a lot of games do that.
Yeah. Johnny Ellis says Portal 3 and a remaster of Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
I never played that, but I remember everyone loving it.
It was Grand Theft Auto for kids, basically.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? Is there any pipe dreams of a... And it doesn't even have to be about a game coming out. It could also be game adjacent. You know, like you really hope that there's a Detroit Become Human TV show. You know?
Oh, yeah. Well,
If
actually,
that's something you genuinely want.
I would love to play another Detroit Become Human that's based now, because that one was based in 2018. So now with AI and everything and like, you know, Androids developing, that'd be really interesting. Seeing like what other storylines they could make.
Plus, then you could actually contribute to the show.
Shut up. That's a good point. The reason I got offensive is because you're right. No, but the one, I've actually said this before, I need to give up on the fact that we're not going to get a Hogwarts Legacy that's like anything like the real books. I'm still attached to it, and I know there was the ones when we were younger, but I wanted Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, and Ron Weasley, and I wanted to play as them in a really amazing world, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And
100%.
also,
I did not want to play as a character that I could create
Yeah.
in the 1800s.
exactly.
Or a character you could create at the same time as them and be in their classes and be friends with them.
Totally.
That would
That
be
would be
cool.
That era, I, you know,
yeah.
having Snape teach and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I know it's not going to happen. And yeah, so that, but I've said that before, but that's the only one I could think of, to be honest. And yours is Pokemon.
Mine was just a realistic Pokemon open world thing. I'd do the same for Dragon Ball Z as well. I'd love like I don't know what that would be. So it's just not just fighting and flying around and fighting and stuff. I don't know what it would be though.
Yeah, true. Because
Yeah,
what
'cause
else
that's
was
they
the
do.
show?
Yeah, it's a lot of effing around and then fighting basically.
Yeah.
But definitely the Pokemon one for me.
An open world Pokemon would just be amazing. With
yeah.
realistic
Yeah.
graphics and
And not just one area too, not just Kanto, not just Johto, like just all of the ones that have been out. You can explore them all. You can go get 60 badges or something.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing for me was a Red Dead Redemption 2 movie. I don't think that'll happen.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No.
Why is that?
I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
I feel like
Buying up all the rights to everything.
Well, that's the thing. All these. I mean, Split Fiction just got a movie bought. Somebody bought that out immediately, and that's only been out for a month. Red Dead's been out since 2018, and no one's jumped on it. I feel like if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting
Sorry
go.
for your loss again. Yeah. Hey, well, thanks for listening to another week of the ECG podcast. It's been great having you here. Contribute in our ECG for ECG Facebook group. And on Monday, we'll have another DLC for you. Anything else you boys want to add before we leave?
Yes, I chucked up on the Instagram saying, hey, have a guess. I've started watching a new TV show, and because of that, I've downloaded a simulator game that is connected to it. And can anybody guess what it is? So I've started watching a show, and there's a simulator, and I've started playing the version of it, and nobody could guess it.
My guess was, but it's wrong because I know you don't like it, was you watching Last of Us, so you got Days Gone or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
The
that would
zombie
make
one.
sense.
But that's not a simulator, though.
No.
And you hated that game because you had to fill up your motorbike.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it like ER or something?
No, somebody did guess that,
Oh,
and a few
okay.
people have guessed like Clarkson's Farm and
Oh,
Farming
you'd love
Simulator.
that.
But no, I've started watching The Rookie,
Oh,
which is
yeah?
with Nathan Fillion. It's just an easy watching cop show.
Yeah.
8 seasons, so I'm like mean, and I've downloaded Police Simulator.
Oh, okay.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I've only just been playing it for like an hour or so, but like I'm just handing out tickets.
Oh, you
It's
go.
just speed cameras and everything. Bit of fun. Yeah, so
Nice.
next week I'm going to sign up to be a police officer.
Good
'Cause
on
That's
ya.
how my brain works.
Nice.
It'll be that easy, I reckon.
It
yeah,
will be.
easy as. Hey, well, thanks for that. Any other anecdotes there before we wrap up? Even though I half wrapped up.
Yep.
No, I'm still playing Elden Ring. What are you playing? Police Simulator.
Police Simulator.
I'm almost finished, so I can't wait to play the new Oblivion. That's all I've got.
Nice, and we'll wrap it up. Yeah.
No,
Ellie,
you're
you're
we
an
can.
anchor. All right, you need to take this thing by the collar and
Grab it by the ghoulies.
No, you're right.
Exactly.
You're right. Yeah, look, I've got a few days left without Sam here. Maybe I'll fire up the PlayStation
No,
or the
my
Switch.
God.
That's what I was getting at.
Have a great week. See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.